Andreas Münzer, the Austrian Oak. Andreas Münzer was born on October 25, 1964, and died on March 14, 1996. He was an Austrian professional bodybuilder known for his extreme muscular density, razor-sharp conditioning, and incredibly low body fat levels, which showcased a degree of vascularity and muscle separation rarely seen. Date of birth, October 25, 1964. Date of death, March 14, 1996. Age at death, 31 years old. Height, 5 foot 7 inches, 170 centimeters. Contest weight, 210 to 220 pounds, 95 to 100 kilograms. Off-season weight, around 240 pounds, 109 kilograms. Cause of death, multiple organ failure. The autopsy revealed extreme damage. Liver and kidneys were completely necrotic, dead tissue, and had to be removed during attempts to save him. His liver was described as hard as concrete. Stomach had to be surgically removed years prior due to chronic ulcers, a known side effect of heavy NSAID, example diclofenac, and steroid use. Heart, hypertrophied, enlarged, and damaged. Blood, extremely thick, polycythemia, a common side effect of erythropoietin, EPO, use. Training philosophy. Münzer was known for his high-volume, high-frequency training. He believed in training each body part multiple times per week with extreme intensity. Frequency. Often trained 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day. Split. He used a push-pull legs or an upper-lower split, allowing him to hit each muscle group 2 to 3 times per week. Intensity. His workouts were notoriously grueling. He used techniques like forced reps, drop sets, and partial reps to push beyond failure. Focus. He prioritized mind-muscle connection and perfect form over sheer weight, aiming to feel the muscle work through every inch of the movement. Diet and nutrition. Münzer's diet was as extreme as his drug use. It was meticulously timed and incredibly bland, designed solely for performance and conditioning, with no regard for pleasure. Meal frequency. He ate 6 to 8 meals per day, every 2 to 3 hours. Macronutrient focus. Very high protein, very low fat, and manipulated carbohydrates. Sample daily diet, pre-contest. Meal 1. Oatmeal with protein powder, egg whites. Meal 2. Chicken breast, rice, and broccoli. Meal 3. Whitefish, like tilapia or cod, rice, and asparagus. Meal 4. Same as meal 2 or 3. Meal 5. Steak or lean red meat, sweet potato, and green beans. Meal 6. Cottage cheese or casein protein powder before bed. Water manipulation. In the final days before a show, he would drastically cut water intake and use diuretics to pull subcutaneous water from under the skin, creating his signature dried-out look. This practice is extremely dangerous and stresses the kidneys immensely. Pharmacology. Steroid and drug use. Münzer's cycles were massive, polypharmacological, using many drugs at once, and ran for long durations with very little time off. He was open about his use in interviews posthumously published. His off-season or bulking cycle. The goal was to gain maximum mass. Anabolic steroids. High doses of testosterone enanthate, example 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams per week. Nandrolone decanoate, decadurabolin, example 600 milligrams per week. Boldenone undecillinate, equipoise, example 600 milligrams per week. Methandrostenolone, dianabol, 50 to 100 milligrams per day. Growth hormone, GH, several IU per day. Insulin,
used to shuttle nutrients into muscles, allowing him to utilize the massive amounts of food he consumed. He would inject insulin around his workouts and largest meals. His contest prep, or cutting cycle. The goal was to preserve muscle while stripping every ounce of fat and water. Anabolic steroids. Switched to compounds with low water retention, stanozolol, winstrol, both oral and injectable, methanolalon, primobolan, trenbolone acetate, oxandrolone, anavar, masteron. Stimulants and fat burners, clenbuterol, ephedrine, caffeine, thyroid hormones, T3, cytomel, diuretics, extremely heavy use in the final week. This included Lasix, or furosemide, diazide, and aldactone. This is what ultimately killed him by causing fatal electrolyte imbalances and shutting down his kidneys. Erythropoietin, EPO, used to increase red blood cell count, improving vascularity and muscular endurance, but dangerously thickening the blood. His last cycle and final days. In early 1996, Münzer was preparing for the upcoming season. His final cycle was a brutal cutting cycle aimed at achieving unreal conditioning. Reported stack: trenbolone acetate, a very powerful and toxic steroid; stanozolol, winstrol; testosterone propionate, a fast-acting testosterone ester; tricana, a powerful thyroid hormone; clenbuterol, a potent beta-2 agonist stimulant; growth hormone, GH; diuretics, heavy chronic use leading up to his collapse. The extreme and dangerous pharmacological regimen that Andreas Münzer used in preparation for a bodybuilding competition. It aligns perfectly with what is known about his practices and tragically illustrates the chemical warfare he waged on his own body to achieve his legendary conditioning. Here is a detailed breakdown and analysis of the cycle detailed in the image. Overview and disclaimer. This is an extremely advanced, dangerous, and potentially lethal stack of pharmaceuticals. It is presented for educational and historical analysis only. Mimicking this protocol would pose an extreme risk of severe health consequences, including permanent organ damage and death, as tragically exemplified by Münzer himself. The cycle is a classic example of contest preparation, designed to progressively shred body fat, remove all subcutaneous water, and harden the muscles while preserving mass. The types and quantities of compounds change as the competition date approaches. Breakdown of the cycle by phase. Phase 1, 10 9 weeks out, the jump start. Daily. Ephedrine, a powerful stimulant to boost metabolism, increase energy, and suppress appetite. AN1, likely anadrol 50, a very potent oral steroid used for rapid mass and strength gains. Its early use is unorthodox as it causes significant water retention, which must later be shed. Captagan, phenethylene, a central nervous system stimulant, amphetamine-like, for extreme energy and focus during workouts. Aspirin, likely used to thin the blood slightly to improve vascularity and counteract potential blood pressure issues from stimulants. Valium, diazepam, a benzodiazepine, used to counteract the intense anxiety, insomnia, and overstimulation caused by the massive amounts of stimulants and other drugs. Clenbuterol, a potent beta-2 agonist bronchodilator used for its powerful bat fat burning properties. Analysis. This phase is a brutal combination of heavy stimulants and strong anabolics. The use of both ephedrine and captagan is exceptionally harsh on the cardiovascular system. Phase 2, 8 to 6 weeks out, introducing injectables and growth hormone. Daily. Testosterone, 2 times 250 milligrams per day, 500 milligrams per day, is a blend of testosterone esters. This is an extremely high dose, 3,500 milligrams per week. Parabolin. 1 inject equals 76 milligrams per day. This is the brand name for trenbolone hexahydrobenzocarbonate, a very powerful androgenic steroid known for increasing muscle hardness and density, 632 milligrams per week. Halotestine, 30 tablets, a highly hepatotoxic, liver-toxic oral steroid known for extreme strength increases and aggression. Dose likely 20 to 40 milligrams per day. Methendiandion, Dynabol, another mass-building oral steroid. Dose likely 30 to 50 milligrams per day. STH, 20 IU, growth hormone, somatotropin, used for its fat metabolizing and recovery properties. 20 IU per day is a massive dose. Insulin, 20 IU, used post-workout to shuttle the nutrients from food into the muscles, counteracting the catabolic state induced by dieting and other drugs. Incredibly dangerous without meticulous timing and diet control. Analysis: the stack becomes exponentially more complex and toxic. The liver is under immense strain from the two oral steroids. The combination of high-dose GH and insulin is famously synergistic for growth, but also carries a high risk of organ enlargement, visceromegaly, and hypoglycemic coma. Phase 3, 5 to 3 weeks out, shifting gears for hardness.
Daily. Masteron, 3 injects. Drostanolone propionate, a DHT-derived steroid prized for its ability to create a hard, dry, and vascular look. It also acts as an anti-estrogen. Dose likely 300 to 450 milligrams per day. Parabolin, 2 injects equals 152 milligrams per day. Trenbolone dose is increased, approximately 1,064 milligrams per week. Halotestin, 30 tablets, continued. Stromba, 50 tablets plus 2 injects. Stenosilol, Winstrol, another drug used for hardness and vascularity, and it also acts as a mild diuretic. It is notoriously harsh on the joints and liver. The injectable form is slightly less liver toxic, but still potent. STH, 24 IE, growth hormone dose is increased to 24 IU per day. Analysis: the shift is clear. The mass-building compounds like testosterone and dianabol are dropped and replaced with hardening, non-aromatizing drugs like Masteron and Winstrol. The goal is now pure conditioning. The drug load is astronomical. Phase 4, 2 to 1 weeks out, the final push. Daily. Masteron, 2 injects. Dose maintained. Stromba, 2 injects plus 80 tablets. The oral Winstrol dose is drastically increased to an extreme level, likely 80 to 100 milligrams per day. Halotestin, 40 tablets. The dose of this toxic compound is increased, likely 40 milligrams per day. STH, 24 IE. Growth hormone dose is increased to 24 IU per day. Insulin, reintroduced. IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor, the most potent form of IGF, likely IGF-1 LR3, used for its potent nutrient shuttling and muscle building or repair effects. This was an extremely experimental and cutting-edge drug at the time. Analysis: this is the most dangerous phase. The liver is being assaulted by monumental doses of oral steroids. The introduction of insulin and IGF-1 alongside GH creates a powerful but incredibly risky anabolic environment. Phase 5, a few days out. The final dry out. Aldactone, spironolactone, a potassium-sparing diuretic. Lasix, furosemide, a potent potassium-wasting diuretic. Analysis: this is the most lethal part of the entire protocol.
Using these two diuretics together, especially in a dehydrated state, almost guarantees a catastrophic electrolyte imbalance, specifically potassium levels. This imbalance is what leads to fatal cardiac arrhythmias and kidney failure, which is exactly what killed Andreas Münzer. Summary and conclusion. This document is not just a cycle, it is a medical blueprint for organ failure. It shows extreme polypharmacy, the simultaneous use of over 12 powerful hormones and drugs, massive doses that far exceed any recognized medical or even recreational bodybuilding guidelines, high toxicity, extreme hepatotoxicity from oral steroids, cardiovascular strain from stimulants and diuretics, and endocrine system overload. No regard for health. The protocol is solely focused on the end result, with no apparent safeguards for well-being. This paper serves as a tragic relic of bodybuilding's most dangerous era, and a direct explanation for the premature death of one of its most iconic athletes. The end. In the days before his death, he was suffering from severe cramps, dizziness, and extreme weakness, classic signs of severe dehydration and electrolyte imbalance. He was admitted to the hospital in Graz, Austria, complaining of abdominal pain. His body quickly shut down. Doctors discovered his liver and kidneys were beyond saving. He died on the operating table during a last-ditch effort to remove the necrotic organs. Andreas Münzer is remembered as one of the most conditioned bodybuilders of all time. His physique continues to be studied and admired for its perfection. However, his legacy is forever tied to the ultimate price he paid. His death was a watershed moment in bodybuilding, forcing the sport to at least begin a conversation about health, safety, and the extreme lengths athletes were going to in pursuit of the perfect physique. He remains a powerful and tragic cautionary tale.